to no one's fault, there was really not an option for any kind of commercial business to recycle because there wasn't a collection method for it. So yes, Roswell is one of the very first places when I came on board and we rolled out our commercial program. I know that there's opportunity really in a very condensed area too, with the amount of restaurants in a very small square footage there, that we can make a really, really big impact. So yeah, right off the gate, started talking to restaurants here with lots of people's help, which I appreciate. And we've got some customers on board now, and I'm already seeing that data, and I see those collection rates coming in. And for me, I'm a visual learner, and I love to. I want to see the impact.
Right.
And you can when you talk about these numbers coming in. I mean, just in a very few months I think we're up to 7 or 8 customers in Roswell now.
Wow.
And we're already in the tons being recycled tons. So,
tons of glass.
7,000 pounds that's already been just from these few. So to me, that's even more encouragement.
It's a huge impact.
To say, could you imagine?
Welcome back to Brew Talks. I'm Steve Stroud, President and CEO of Roswell, Inc. We're your economic development organization in the city of Roswell.
And I'm Ashley Allen, VP of Operations. First, I'd like to thank our podcast sponsor today, Wellstar North Fulton Hospital. And then I'd like to introduce our guest, Jamey Moran with Ripple Glass. Thank you for being on with us today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Appreciate your support.
We're very excited to talk about all things glass recycling.
Glass
All things
recycling.
glass.
We have a lot of restaurants here. So I'm sure as a
Yes.
city, we produce a lot of glass waste. So tell
do.
us a little bit about, what you guys do and what that looks like.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of backstory. Ripple Glass was actually formed in Kansas City back in 2009, I believe, 2008. They had a need. There was no glass processor in that area at all, so they really could not. It was a giant hole kind of for glass recycling. So powers that be, lots of movement came together, created a processing center that allowed for the collection method. So that's where Ripple was born. Fast forward now, a couple years back, we were acquired by a larger company called Sibelco. Wow. So now some international company. So big things happening. Definitely the largest glass processor recycler in North America, maybe in the world. But we have our processing facility is right in College Park. So that's a big point that I'll talk on in a minute as well. But because we have that capability here for the actual processing piece of it, it made sense to bring the Ripple program to Atlanta for the collection.
So that's how we met. So talk
Mm-hmm.
about that. You're obviously a Roswell resident. You live right here.
Right
you
in the
got
area.
excited. Tell us that story, and then we'll tie back into the Ripple, because that's pretty fascinating.
So I am East Cobb, but
Well,
I'm right across the road.
Yeah, but
right
you
across
come
the road.
shop
But I
here
come
and
here all the time.
I know. We'll get her over here.
I know, and that's why I think I've had such a focus in Roswell, is because I do see the potential. I love being here. They say farm in your own backyard.
There you go.
So that was a big push for me, and I do. It's for years. I come to the restaurants and all the different places, and I'm like trying to sneak out my bottle in my bag because I know
And an empty one too, not a full one.
Yeah, an empty one. To no one's fault, there was really not an option for any kind of commercial business to recycle because there wasn't a collection method for it. So yes, Roswell is one of the very first places when I came on board and we rolled out our commercial program. I know that there's opportunity really in a very condensed area too, with the amount of restaurants in a very small square footage there, that we can make a really, really big impact. So yeah, right off the gate, started talking to restaurants here with lots of people's help, which I appreciate. And we've got some customers on board now, and I'm already seeing that data, and I see those collection rates coming in. And for me, I'm a visual learner, and I love to. I want to see the impact.
Right.
And you can when you talk about these numbers coming in. I mean, just in a very few months I think we're up to 7 or 8 customers in Roswell now.
Wow.
And we're already in the tons being recycled. Tons. So,
Tons of glass.
7,000 pounds that's already been just from these few. So to me, that's even more encouragement.
It's a huge impact.
To say, could you imagine? Could you
Yeah.
imagine if we had everyone on board?
And just to paint that picture
Yeah.
of prior to, where was all this glass going? How long does that exist if it's not recycled?
For the businesses, there's really no option. So it was unfortunately just going to landfill.
Oh, wow.
So so you imagine taking all of that
Yep.
weight, just the sheer weight out of the landfill. But in terms of impact, where with glass recycling, number one, it's infinitely recyclable. It really, the last place it needs to go is to a landfill. It can be put back into another product literally over and over and over. When you do that, you save natural resources, because a new glass bottle, you have to use sand, silica, or the silica sand, soda ash. One more, drawing blank, but you're already taking those natural resources out. So to be able to keep that in the circularity
mix.
into the
Yeah.
mix,
Yep.
then you're not having to mine
Makes
those
sense.
new. So when you use what we call cullet, so when it goes to our processing center and it's all the lids, labels are taken off, it's color sorted, you get this finished product around a quarter size called cullet. So when the manufacturers can use our cullet, they are saving energy emissions because it doesn't have to be heated as a high of a temperature.
wow.
So there's so many layers, and I know I've come and
Yeah.
spoke to a couple groups in Roswell, and I go
Roswell
into
next. Yeah.
much more detail about that in those. So if anyone wants to, I can tell you all you want to know.
She's got a
about
great presentation.
the glass recycling process. But I think for me, to get the message across that you really can, one restaurant, one cafe, you can make a difference, and it's
Yeah.
a very local difference. A lot of the customers that buy from us, the cullet that we manufacture, it's right here in Georgia. So you're really keeping it into the Georgia economy, and I don't think that message has been really conveyed enough. That this is good for the environment and good for the economy.
So if I'm a business, let's just say I'm a cafe, what happens? I sign up. You guys pick it up. What's that look like? I
Yep.
need to sort by color.
Nope, you
Make it
don't have
easy.
to.
What's it? What?
Yeah, we try to make it as absolutely easy as possible. So if you can very easily just go on our website or call me, we would drop off whatever size container you need. So some places just need one 64-gallon cart. That's going to be good for them. Some we have 5 or 6 96-gallon carts.
Oh, wow.
And I'll work with people. I can help them determine,
What
what's
that
going
looks
to be
like.
the best fit for them. And then we give them a slim bin that usually goes behind the bar area so they can collect just the glass. Our carts are purple, so you make sure it's not going to get,
I got the purple bag.
they know that
you
this is
go.
for glass only, and try to differentiate that.
cool.
And then we pick it up weekly, just as the trash service comes. We come, we take care of it. They do not have to sort by color. They don't have to take the lids and labels off.
Oh, wow.
We have public purple bins as well in some other areas across Metro Atlanta, and I do get people that they just want to. They want to take
wanna
off the
do it.
labels and they want to clean them all out. I'm like, you get your green star, but you don't have to. So all of that, the technology changes at our plant, and just with our optical sorting and all the things, they allow for us to take care of that on our side.
Now, is that plant in East Point, is that just for Georgia?
That's our only plant in Georgia.
Okay.
Yes, but we have such capacity there that, overall, I think I was looking at the last statistic, and it's probably from 2018, but it was reporting that only about 30% of glass nationwide is actually recycled.
Oh, wow.
I believe
We have a
There's
lot of room
residents.
for improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a
yeah,
lot of
there's a
residential
lot of room
recycling.
in
It's
there.
like everything but glass can go in the residential recycling a lot of times.
Yes.
So I believe it. If it's difficult, people just don't do it, right? So you got to make it as easy as possible.
We have, and that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So we do, again, going back, we have our public bin program. So if you're not in Roswell, we have about 40 of our large containers that are placed in public areas, whether it be a shopping center or a liquor store, or
Yeah.
And you just
there's
drop
some
it
public
off.
parks, and anyone can put their glass in there. The restaurants, obviously, we need to hone in and come to them and make that as
So do you
convenient as possible.
find, that's it. That's really interesting, because you got a public process, and then obviously from the business side.
Right.
Do you find that, or are you guys finding, once you get it recycled, where does it go from there? Does it, what you make the product, does it go back into as glass?
It goes, so every market across the U.S. is different. So the big, obviously, container glass, so bottles, jars, those are a lot of the product goes back into that. And fiberglass insulation is a pretty large portion of that.
Ah, that makes sense.
So yeah, fun fact, I think it's 6 glass beer bottles is enough to make one cavity of fiberglass insulation in a standard kind of cavity size.
Oh,
so you can feel good about that 6-pack if you recycle the bottles.
Yes.
I just put in
If you recycle the bottles, right.
That's
right.
pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
If you think about it, especially with the amount of housing that's being built in the metro
Exactly.
Atlanta area, and Georgia in particular.
Exactly.
That's
So if you,
great.
again, just the kind of the fun thought process behind it is you go to one of these amazing places, you have a beverage, it gets recycled, it goes to College Park, it goes to a manufacturer right here in Georgia, and maybe back to a home in Roswell.
In your house.
In your house, so
great.
and we don't have enough right now.
Right.
So I go back to that 30%. We need more. We need more. The manufacturers in Georgia that are using the cullet, they need more. There's no shortage. We're just not. It needs to be diverted down to the right place. It needs to get down to our plant, and we can handle the capacity of that.
So how many plants around the country do you have?
So we have, I think it was 47 across North America.
Okay.
So yeah, and
Must
then
be the largest.
we are definitely the largest in North America, and I want to
pretty
say
cool.
again, I think worldwide we're pretty significant.
And I was going to say, does Georgia rank pretty high, or is it still we got some room? Okay,
we
that's how
have
you gotta-
some room
I can
for
tell
growth.
I can tell by the facial expression. We need to grow that.
Yes, and
We'll
that.
start
But
with
you know
Roswell.
what? I love a challenge,
Yeah.
and this is definitely a passion job for me. So
Well, we can see that, and
we're
that's
gonna get there.
important.
It
we,
is,
We hear
yeah.
from the restaurateurs that and other businesses you've been involved with. They're appreciative of an option, right? So I think that's a big piece.
Yeah. And the ones that have come on board so far in Roswell, and I just, love to give them shout outs, but they're doing amazing. We're seeing just such amazing diversion rates already. And you're talking just a few months that we've been
amazing.
collecting. Even, truth be told, brand new restaurant,
Yeah.
they signed up, they said, of course, we have to do this. And wow, I like to go by and kind of pop in on mine, and they're doing amazing.
They are
So-
doing amazing. And then you got Deep Roots.
We've got Deep Roots. We've got Basque from the Earth. Chattahoochee Nature Center
Nature
came
Center.
on board,
Love it.
which I love.
Good.
Madrid.
Yeah.
Do we have one more? I think, and Roswell Junction.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes.
great.
Yes,
That's a big one, right?
That's
there.
a big one. Big bar. Big
one.
bar.
Yeah, big bar. Big bar.
Yeah.
Well, that's
so-
fantastic. So, how can people get a hold of you? First of all, thank you and Ripple Glass for being a sponsor of this year's Summer Sippin'.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
It's
great.
been a
It's been
great
fun.
year, and with 61 restaurants, I'm sure there's opportunity to do some more recycling.
Yes, there is.
Which is awesome, which we love. So,
Yeah.
how can people get a hold of you?
So if they, our website, just rippleglass/ATL, all of our contact information will be on there. I am Jamey, Jamey, at rippleglass.com. Happy to, share my number, whatever.
Yeah.
Any way that anyone wants to flag me down, I'm
Or
open.
get a hold of us and we'll connect you because
Absolutely.
you do a great presentation. And I think it always opens eyes when people walk out going, I had no idea that much potential
Right.
and where it goes. Right?
And I think a huge part of my job is education.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
maybe, unfortunately, there's been just a lot of confusion around recycling. And I think sometimes maybe that's why I just kind of found myself in the glass lane.
Yep.
Because when you collect it on its own and it goes to our center, there's really no question of it
Where
getting
it's gonna
recycled.
go. Yeah.
And I can 1000% guarantee that, which I love. So I think instilling that confidence back in people that if you make this effort,
It's worth
it is
it.
going to pay off.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, and again, there's just do what you can.
Every little
It's-
bit helps.
It really and truly does. So,
That's awesome.
and I need those little incremental things myself as well. So,
Jamie, thanks for being on today.
I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for sharing the story because, again, it's about making Roswell a better place to live and do business. And obviously, we always talk about live, work, play, but
Yeah.
this is a great place to be. And it only gets better with things like this that we can educate not only our listeners, but the other businesses for the opportunity. So
Absolutely.
thank you for your participation
you.
today, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for what you're doing. So
I
as we
appreciate
always
it.
say, it's a great day to do business in Roswell.
It's a great day to do business and recycle.
That's
you
right.
go.
All on the same day.
I love it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Thanks.